Yes, 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 yes. Back again. ISTV. Rocking it, digging it, chilling. Friday evening right here from our studio. You don't in the building. Check me out, I'm in the building. Alright, let's do this together. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Intercontinental Sport TV. That's the station. That's where we are talking about soccer. That's where we are talking about other things. Football, basketball, every other thing. Check it out. Check it out. What are you waiting for? Join us in the community. Let's get it together. This is how we roll. This is how we do it. You can't find it anywhere. I mean, anywhere on social media. Where we rock sports with vibes, with music, with chilling background, and also with uncensored, unscripted analysts. I'm talking about these good people. Bobby is in the building. Let's talk on the building. I tell you, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be Epl Timetable. It's a woman walk up. Big debate. I tell you, it's gonna be loud. And also, it's love focus. We'll be Manchester City. Tonight, baby. What are you waiting for? Bobby, talk to me. Are you in the building? Talk to me, bro. Vibes. It's loud, yeah. Ule, can you hear me? Ule, are you in the building? Talk to me, people. Ready? I'm set.
Yes, I'm here, Don. Good evening. How's it going?
All right. Come on, you're welcome, bro. I'm looking
Thanks,
for
thanks.
Robbie. I don't know
John.
whether Robbie is ready with me. It's freezing out. I don't know what's wrong with him. Kule, what's going on? Hi, Oshodi, talk to me. Oshodi is it's a little bit
Yeah,
chilly.
Oshodi is fine. Oshodi is chilling this evening. It's been raining for like the past 2-3 days in Lagos, so the weather is chilling, and yeah, it's real good this evening.
All right, Kunle, it's going to be loud. I tell you, a lot of things happening in the world of soccer. I'm talking about football. The Women's World Cup is also approaching. I think it's going to be in July. It's in July 10 or something.
Yeah, July 20th. July
Yeah,
20th.
Yeah, somebody asked me a question that is it going to be much better because more attention are being paid to men's World Cup. That I think this time around is going to be a lot of difference coming up. Can you talk to me about?
Okay. The thing is this. I think when it comes to women's football, we should actually try not to compare it with the women's game. I've actually had the opportunity to speak to some of the Super Falcons players in the past, including the Falcons leading player Asisat Oshuala. And when you ask them these questions about where the women's game is compared to the men's game, they will most always tell you that, look, it's not for you to compare. The women's game is unique in its own way. Now, the thing is, the women's game did not have attention before. Let's put aside the men's game because men's game is obviously miles apart and miles ahead. Yeah. But if you look at where the women's game was, say 10 years ago, it is not the same thing again. There is more interest now because you see now that TV broadcasters are broadcasting the game. You see the Women's Champions League, the English Women's Super League, where you see clubs like Manchester United, Chelsea doing very well. So at the end of the day, you have men talking about women. And let's not forget also that even some of these big clubs like Chelsea, Manchester United, Barcelona, they do promotions side by side with the men. Like when the season is approaching, when they do jersey unveiling, they take pictures along with the women. So it has slowly created more awareness. And looking at the last World Cup in 2019 against in France, social media engagement was huge. Those who tuned in to watch was huge. And this is another one. So it is anticipated that it is going to be bigger and better this time around. And I really cannot wait for it to, start, especially as we are having the Super Falcons qualify in the tournament. They have been to every Women's World Cup since it started, since 1991. They are just one out of 7 countries that have been able to do that. So we'll be really looking forward to seeing them perform in Australia and New Zealand next month.
All right, all right, all right. We'll still come back to the Women World Cup. But let's quickly talk about the talking points for today. It's going to be EPL timetable. Also, it's going to be a quick debate after this, and also the EPL transfer gist, which is going to be club focusing on Manchester City. But quickly, Kunle, let's quickly talk about this debate. Before others will join us, but let's look at this: the greatest centre back pairing of all time. I have number one, Dera Piqué, and Carlos Puyol, and also Paulo Maldini and Alessandro Nesta, and also Sergio Ramos, also with Rafael Varane. And let me hold on. Robbie, can you hear me?
I think yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening to you. Good evening to you, Kunle, as well. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, please send some rain to this side, though, please. I need
no problem. I will do that. I will do that.
Let's quickly talk about this quick debate. You know, the greatest centre back partnership of all time. Kunle, I want to start with you. Upon all these great players, great legend, some are still playing, like Varane is still playing, Sergio Ramos is still playing, Thiago Silva also, Marquinhos also still playing. Kunle, from your point of view, which one will you love most from all this great centre back, in your own opinion?
For me, from all what you have picked here, the greatest centre back pairing is Alessandro and Paolo Maldini and Alessandro Nesta.
Wow. They all play for AC Milan.
Yeah, and it's not just because they played for AC Milan. I think without any debate or without any argument, most people would say that Paolo Maldini is the greatest defender. Like, if you even pack all defenders, including fullbacks, as a defender, most people would say Paolo Maldini is the greatest. He's the greatest defender ever, because he was just an epitome of excellence, as in very solid. And I mean when you say I was so happy. I am privileged to have seen him play, because anybody who didn't see Paolo Maldini play, I'm sorry, they've missed out on a lot. But I'm happy I saw Paolo Maldini play, and he was simply a joy to watch, because when you see him on the pitch, the influence, the calm, the stability, the solidity he brings, and
he has speed too.
Yeah, Paolo Maldini wasn't really maybe in the early days of his career, but as he aged, what was surprising about Maldini was, as he was getting older, he was actually getting better. He was getting better as he was aging, and that is odd, because normally you would say as you are getting older, you should be getting weaker. But in Maldini's case, as he was getting older, he was getting stronger. The only thing that just came up with him was injuries. But if I remember correctly, I believe Maldini played up to he was 41 or thereabout. So that goes to tell you, you understand. None of these people who are here have been able to play up to, none of them reached up to 40. For those who have retired, even those who are still active, I don't think. Okay, maybe Thiago Silva is the other person that possibly might be going into, but I mean, you can't put Thiago Silva where Paolo Maldini is. So I mean, Paolo Maldini, and then I need to talk about Alessandro Nesta. He too was a very phenomenal defender, a very clean defender. He's the kind of person who will go into rough tackles. Like, he can actually win the ball off you and he won't get the yellow card. That is how intelligent Alessandro Nesta was. But unfortunately, he had a lot of injury problems throughout the course of his career that forced him to retire into his 30s. But if he was fit, maybe he could have played into his 40s as well. So you can't underestimate Alessandro Nesta, a very, very defender. So Maldini, Nesta are my pick for the best defender of all time.
All right. I'm sure Robbie's going to have a different opinion. Robbie, which great center back, the greatest center back partnership of all time will you choose? I have here Puyo. Okay, go ahead.
Well, as it is, I think I will have to agree with Kunle on this one, because yes, you have a lot of guys on this list who have been amazing centre backs, but I think more or less this young generation did not see Maldini and Nesta play. And I tell you that these two were actually amazing. In fact, they were the reason for why AC Milan, apart from the likes of Seedorf and Shevchenko, Nesta and Maldini were the reason why AC Milan was successful during their time, both in Italy and in Europe. And just like Cole rightly said, Nesta is this kind of person that he was not accorded the praise, the encomium that he deserved. He was more or less the silent achiever, the silent man working behind the scenes, and Maldini was the one that was taking all the praises. So it tells you how much telepathy there was between these two defenders. They were amazing during their time. If I'm actually going to bring anybody side by side them right now, I will actually not go for glamour. I will go for Cellini and Bonucci. These two also, yes, were very, very amazing for Juventus. And I tell you, if you actually want to play physical football, those two are ready for you. And they had very good strength in the air. They were rough, they were resourceful, they were stubborn, and of course, they made sure that nothing, even if you decide to go bring the host of heaven, nothing was going to get past them through to their goalkeeper. So it is so rare to see such dedication from a pairing of center backs in the modern game these days. And just like we talk about now, you see more or less center backs like the likes of Van Dijk doing fine boy on the field. They don't want to get dirty. They don't want to go in for tackles. They don't want to sacrifice limbs. They don't want to sacrifice body parts to block shots or to prevent goals. And like I said, it is terrible. So none of these new generation defenders comes anywhere closer to this pairing of Nesta and Maldini, as well as Bonucci and the other guy as it is. Maybe the next pairing I would take is more or less Vidic and Ferdinand, as well as Terry and the other guy. At least those were defenders who knew their job as defenders, and they would sacrifice anything to make sure that, one, they kept a clean sheet. Two, their goalkeepers were well protected in every game they played. So that is one thing that makes me salute this selected few. But for the choice that Kunle has made, I agree with him 100%.
All right, Kunle, I'm still coming back to you, Kunle. On this one, you made mention of the number 2. Is there any other players you look like you if you want to pick? Is there any pairing will you go for? Apart from the number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say that as Robbie mentioned Giorgio Celli. Well, for me, if I will have to mention a different pairing, I think I would have to mention the pairing of Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane. Now, I know people would say that, okay, where the likes of John Terry and Carvalho were, or even Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. But why I will put Ramos and Varane is because they had more longevity than these other defenders. They played longer. They played way, way, way longer. And, you look at the amount and level of success that came, to Real Madrid, especially in the Champions League, where they both won 5 Champions League. Nobody here. I think the only person who has 5 Champions League is Paolo Maldini. He's the only person who has, but these two together, they won it together. So, for me, I would pick the pairing of Sergio Ramos and Varane as the alternate.
Yes, female is joining us. Margaret is joining us on this show. Margaret, what's going on? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, the Don. I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening, Didon. Good evening, guys in the studio. It's good to be here once again.
All right. Today's thank God it's Friday. I'm hearing Okpara
Yeah.
party down there. Are you
Oh, no,
somewhere in the mix?
I'm just actually I'm passing by. I'm passing by. As you can see, can you hear me? Can you? I'm just passing by.
All right. Just want to quickly ask you about your own center back pairing before we go into the show proper. Is there any two pairing partnership great center back of all time will you go for among all these ones displayed on the screen?
Well,
Oh,
well,
okay, all right. You can see. I don't think you were able to
I
see.
can. No, why can't I say? I'll be able to say.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Well, I will go for Pablo Maldini and Alexandra Nesta.
Wow.
When we look at their exploits, with AC Milan and what they've done throughout in the 90s. So many things that they have done, their aggressiveness, the leadership quality, their understanding of the club. Pablo Maldini, at a point it was a right back. From right back, they brought him to center back. So their exploits in Italy, not just in AC Milan. So many things that they. Sorry, okay. So I will go for Pablo Maldini and Alessandra Nesta. But nothing, I won't be able to take away anything from Gerard Piqué. When we talk about modern center pairings, I actually give it to them. But you cannot take away what Pablo Maldini and Alexandra and Nesta have done. Today, if we want to talk about top pairing in the world, their name will come out first. They will definitely come out first.
All right. He's also joining us. Before I block this section, run over this section, I'm going to call on Ace. Can you hear me loud and clear? We are looking at the great center back partnership of all time. Is there any partnership or is there anyone you go for? Ace, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you guys, man.
Hey, bro, what's going on? It's been a while, bro. Talk to me.
Yeah. Man, this is a potpourri of magnificent defenders.
I tell you.
I don't know. I don't know which one to pick. But all of them have given their best. All of them all gave their best. Some are still playing currently, and some have retired. But if I'm to pick, because I know I watched the combination between Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, and also the combination of John Terry and Cavallo.
Strong.
And also Paolo Maldini and Nesta. Man, this pairing, and also Gerard Piqué and Puyo. They were fantastic pairings, and Sergio Ramos and Varane, when he played for long, Sergio Ramos played from the right back, graduating from the midfield to the right back, from the right back to the central defense. I'm just going to go for Vidic and Ferdinand.
All right.
Vidic and Ferdinand.
All right, he is going for Vidic and Ferdinand.
Sorry, please, I have something for Ahis though.
It's hearing you.
Yeah, I want to find small trouble. Permit me to find trouble, please. Yes. Ahis, how far? Don't you think you should sue is it Sudi Don, I should say now? He didn't even put any Arsenal pairing, like maybe Sol Campbell and Sol Campbell and is it Lauren? Shouldn't we sue him?
You are looking for violence.
There's
an adage that says when you're in Rome, you act like the Romans. That's what he wants.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, don't put me. Don't carry me go where I don't know. Don't carry me to where I want to go. All right, let's move on, guys. Please smash the like on the video. We are moving on to the next one, and it's going to be the opening week of the EPL. The timetable is out, and I'm telling you guys, it's going to be rocky this next season coming up. Burnley will be welcoming the champions. Their stadium, Burnley, you all know from the championship they move up to the Premiership with their coach Company himself, Vincent Company, will be their coach and will be welcoming his manager. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kunle. I think Vincent Company played under Pep. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
All right, it's going to be a cracker. That will be the first game on Friday, August 11, and on Saturday, Arsenal will be welcoming Forest. We want to know whether they are still in the Forest. I am telling you, it's going to be another cracker. I'm sure he is. We will be scared of that match, so that there won't be any banana skin on the game. Don't forget about it. Moving on to the next one, will be Bournemouth versus West Ham. Is another cracker. Brighton will be welcoming another Premiership newcomer. That's Luton. FC will be also be playing the game with Brighton. Also, Everton will also welcome Fulham. That's another cracker as well. Sheffield United, a new one into the Premiership, will also be welcoming Crystal Palace. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle also will be welcoming Aston Villa. That should be another cracker. And on Sunday, Brentford will be welcoming Spurs. That will be another cracker. But the game of that week will be Liverpool going all the way to Stamford Bridge. That's Chelsea. We want to know whether Chelsea will be something different this season with the new manager. You know the manager I'm talking about, that Spurs manager, Pochettino. Also on Monday, the Gragra FC, that's Manchester United, my club, the greatest club of all time. I'm talking about Manchester United will be welcoming Wolves, and it will be another cracker. I want to start off with Robbie. Robbie, talk to me. The Epl timetable is out. What do you feel? What do you think about this timetable?
Well, I think the timetable is actually very exciting. I tell you the truth. It's very, very exciting. And everybody here, we are looking forward to how the first weekend of the season will kick off. First and foremost, Burnley is set to take up Manchester City. That is on a Friday, August the 12th. And then United comes up on Sunday. And then I think the last game should be on Monday or thereabout. But I think the most important thing right here is the first 5 fixtures of each of these teams. Talking about Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Chelsea as well. That is if Prof was here. I think the first 5 fixtures are very interesting. And the most interesting fixture of match day 1 is Liverpool will play Chelsea. Yeah. So that is one big test. That is one very, very big test for Chelsea. Liverpool don't have a problem. Liverpool have signed McAllister. Yes, Chelsea are busy chasing Caicedo at this point in time. The deal, everything as regards that deal is going on very well. Let me be sincere with as it is. But Liverpool more or less looks more like a team that have set their sights on doing better next season. So it is going to be a big test for Chelsea than it is for Liverpool. That is just my own assessment. For Manchester City against Burnley, please let us not think about the whole thing. That is 3 points for me already. 3 points on the table for Manchester City. Benny, we don't price bet now. For me, it is 3 points already. So there's nothing Wolseley wants to do about it. For Arsenal, I think Arsenal will also win their first game as it is. United playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think where United will have a problem is the fact that right now, there are still conflicting reports as touching, is it the Qatari owner? Is it the Qatari owner that will take charge or that is going to get the club at the end of the day, or it is going to be?
You don't have to worry. Before August, they take over. Everything will be settled, and by then we'll know who the owner is. So I don't think.
That's why I said there are conflicting reports. Today you get to hear, oh, it is Qatar. Then the next moment you get to hear another thing entirely. And right now, United does not have the luxury of time. Let me give you the latest update right now. The player that United want to sign, talking about Kim Min-jae, has been picked up by Bayern Munich. Everything as regards that deal has been done. That is the latest update right now. So it is more or less like United are the one pointing or telling other players at other teams, this player is very good. The teams will take money and go and sign the player. Where does that leave United?
It's still fresh. It's still fresh.
Is this Saliba you want to go and sign? So that is just what I'm saying at this point in time. They need to sort out the issue of the ownership. Leeds United has been sold. It was no issue. Wigan Athletic was sold about 2 days ago. It was no issue. Why is it United's own that is more or less, that is just, I don't even know what kind of English to use at this
You
point in time.
can't compare United with Wigan or Leeds United. They are different clubs.
No,
The
no
pedigree
wahala
of
now.
Man United, you
Let
can't
the
compare.
Bella family hang
And
on
you
to the
think, do
club.
you know the amount we're talking about here? And you know that we United actually have issue right now. They need to sort that out. And that one problem I'm talking about is the
Which
Glazers.
issues do
So
they
if
have?
those people don't actually
Which
leave
issues
the
do they
way,
have? Oh yeah, now I'm
this
listening to
is
you. Which
Man
issues do they
United
have?
and not Wigan. Wigan,
My dear,
Athletic,
there's not.
or Leeds United they are different clubs.
Margaret, let us understand something and leave emotions out of it. When Chelsea was sold, was it dragged for this amount of time? Let's be sincere here. Was it dragged for this long? It wasn't dragged for this long. Despite the fact that, yes, they wanted to put Ibrahimovic out. Was it dragged up to this point? It wasn't. The team was sold middle of the season. The money was paid. The man that owned the club went away, and nobody had any issues about it. So we should stop making it look like as if United is one so special club like that. Like I say, okay, it's going to take the whole year to finalize every paperwork to get the club sold. This is January. We are in June. And the club still up to now has not been sold. There's even no concrete evidence as regards who is going to be the next owner. Today you hear it is the Qatari man. Tomorrow you hear it is Jimmy Ratcliffe. Are you not tired of those kind of news? So let us stop playing this game of, it is United. And so what? What makes United so special? The club needs to be sold. The family should come down and tell the people who want to buy it, this is how much they want. Let us just pay it and let them relinquish the club to those who want to buy it. And then we can move on. That is just the issue. If United don't get this issue sorted out, it is going to affect the season. And I trust people like you now. Now I'll call the complaint, say, oh, see United, this, that, and that. Ogami, let me rest my case here.
All right. Manchester United fans are fuming. They are fuming. They want to know the owner of the club. I don't care right now. I am tired as well, too. I am tired. Kule, I'm coming over to you. Who do you think has the best run of games so far in this season? Moving up to the next one, that's Kunle. Kunle, talk to me. Which team do you think has the best run of form games?
For me, I feel the best run.
Yeah. You look at Manchester City has Burnley away, home, Newcastle, Brentford away, home, Fulham, and also West Ham. That's a tough game. I think they should have. They will be fine.
Well, definitely. I think City have the easiest games because if you look at United have to play Spurs
and Arsenal.
Then Brighton. Even though Brighton will be at home, we know everyone knows the shaggy that Brighton should United home and away. Know. It's not easy for Newcastle. They are starting with Aston Villa. Aston Villa is a very, very big team. Let's not forget that Aston Villa have qualified for Europe. They were equally phenomenal since Unai Emery came. Yes. Then they are now playing City, Liverpool, and Brighton. Those next 4 games, even Brighton and Brentford, they are going to be tough. They're going to definitely be tough. So for this part, I think City have the best amount. They have the easiest run of games for me.
And if you look at Chelsea as well, too, Chelsea will also be welcoming the first game. It's going to be Liverpool, West Ham, Luton Town Club,
Nottingham Forest.
Well,
I think Chelsea's own looks favorable. I mean, apart from Liverpool, going to West Ham will be tough because it's a London derby. But they are playing Luton at home, Nottingham Forest at home, and Bournemouth. I think those are games that I feel if Chelsea if they are able to get their act right during preseason and Mauricio Pochettino is able to calibrate things, I think they should be able to get 3 wins. They should be able to get 3 wins against Luton and those 3 teams.
Now, if you look at Liverpool as well, the first game as well is going to be Chelsea, Bournemouth, and away with the Newcastle. They also have a tough game as well too. I'm talking about Liverpool here.
I feel for Liverpool too, it's not really going to be easy. But then looking at it that Liverpool improved before this, after their poor form, they narrowly missed the top four. And they've made some recruitment. They've brought Alexis McAllister. I
Yeah.
believe more players are coming. I think those fixtures they don't look bad for Liverpool though. So I feel they should be able to pull through.
All right. Let me ask Ace about the team to watch out for this next season coming up. Ace, can you hear me? Is there any team you think all of us should be wary of? Considering the fact it's going to be a new season entirely. Which team do you think, wow, we should be careful?
Well, I think it's still
early.
It's still the regular guys. Manchester City is for everybody to contend against them, because I saw a news this evening. I don't know how true it is that they are offloading 4 of their major players: Gundogan, Walker, Mahrez, and the likes. But if you look at them, they have depth, and definitely the other guys behind the scenes will come up. And if you look at Manchester City's recruitment policy this past few seasons, their recruitment policy has been top notch, because we don't know, definitely they will add bodies to the squad, so they are one to look out for. And the other guys, which are the regular top 6, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, they would not want what happened last season to repeat itself. So competition will be stiffer this coming season. And maybe the newcomers, Luton, Sheffield United, and the other guys, Burnley, because I saw where you were talking about these fixtures. Burnley, Manchester City, these guys, they know how they do this thing. They had to put that fixture as the first game, because they know it's going to be box office company feature against his former boss Guardiola. So they know how they do this thing. So just those guys, only watch out for them, because company has really done well in his first season. So this is a bigger test for him, competing in the Premiership. So let's see how it goes. But the regular guys, which are Man City, Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, they will be the guys you should watch out for, because Arsenal too, they will strengthen. They will build from where they finished last season. Definitely, it has to be all up. And I think those are the guys you look out for.
All right. Okay. I'm going to switch out to Margaret right now about the coming up league, the season coming up. We want to look at the VAR impact. How do you think VAR should come up this time around? Is it going to this last season, we have so many flaws, so many things happen with VAR, and this time around, what are you expecting the FA to do for the VAR problem? Is it how to be sorted out, or we should live with it?
Well, this season I'm actually expecting a more improved VAR.
Yeah.
Because last season there have been a lot of mistakes, a lot of controversies. So I'm expecting the FA to fix things right this season, because if not, it's actually going to cost a lot of teams 3 points. Then teams that are not supposed to be winning are winning, and teams that are supposed to be losing teams that are not supposed to be losing are actually teams that are supposed to be winning are losing, and teams that are supposed to be losing are actually winning. So I expect the FA to fix things right, and then call whoever the referee or whoever that is in charge of the VAR to. They need to watch the mistakes of last season and see how they can fix it up.
All right, Kunle, do you agree with that VAR impact? Kunle, what will you say about the VAR? Going to the last season, so many games. I could remember so many games the VAR made serious error and impacted on some games. Talking about, is it Brighton? So many games. So what are you expecting the FA to do this time around, going to this next season?
Well, judging by
I know you're not send.
I know send though, and I don't think say FA send too, because in as much as the technology is there and all, we have still seen very, very controversial calls being made, and it now calls into question that, okay, what is actually the essence of using technology? Because, what we should always remember is that it is not VAR that is going to interpret. It is the referee that will still interpret based on his discretion, right? And as long as the referees will use their discretions to interpret, it is going to be open to a lot of debate. So for me, I don't see anything changing. I think it will still see, because like I've said previously, there is a lot of, when there is controversy, when there's controversy in the Premier League, it sells because everybody will be talking about it. We've been here where we talk about it multiple times on different shows. So, and I'm sure, maybe those people up there, they they like it. So maybe they will they will even spice it up more this season so that we will talk more about the debate. So, but for me, I'm not expecting anything. I think it will still be the same old thing, and we'll still keep dragging and arguing about. Yeah, I think that's what. So I don't expect anything different.
All right. Let me move on to the next one. This club focus will be on Manchester City. Manchester City, we have the news. They said, as per multiple reports, Manchester City are set to lose the following players this transfer window. Wow. Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Gundogan, Cancelo, Walker, and Laporte. I mean, these are fantastic players. Robbie, you are going to save us on this one. What's your take on this Manchester City? That's the club focus for today. And I want you to see also, these are players they said they want to sign. Declan Rice. I'm not sure.
Man City is not signing Declan Rice. Declan Rice is more or less going to Arsenal. So Man City are talking about Josko Vardio. They've opened negotiations on that guy. That is the Croatian defender. They've opened negotiations on him. The negotiations for Mateo Kovacic is almost inching closer to his completion. So those are the two guys right now on the radar of Manchester City. At least that is from the latest report that I have. So,
but Robbie, look at the 6 names already pointed out. What is going? These are big players.
For these guys. For these guys, I think I don't know, but I think Manchester City will want to keep Bernardo Silva. They will also want to keep Ilkay Gundogan. I believe they will want to keep those two. For Cancelo, yes, because of the issues he had with Pep Guardiola before he left for Bayern Munich, I think they might want to offload him, except there is a dramatic turn or the dramatic change of events. But for Gundogan, for Bernardo Silva, they are most likely to stay. For Riyad Mahrez, there are reports coming from the Middle East that he is most likely going to go there. I don't know, maybe for the cash or whatever it is. But I don't know. I don't know if Manchester City will put in any effort to keep him at the club. For Kyle Walker, definitely is going to stay. I don't see Kyle Walker leaving Manchester City at this point in time. For Laporte, yes, he have not had as much playing time as he would have wanted or as we as fans would have seen. But I think ultimately he would still, I think Pep will still want to keep him around. Pep will still want to keep him around. Yes, he's young. He can be useful in those fringe competitions, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and so on and so forth. Yes. So I think the major headaches here or the major worries here for Manchester City are basically Mahrez and João Cancelo. Except for that, I think City will keep the other guys and add more to these guys that they will be keeping.
But Kunle, are you not scared of this great man? I mean, Pep, I mean, was it not last season? It's sold Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus,
exactly,
Cancelo, and nothing. There's no effect.
And he didn't miss them at all. And he didn't miss them at all.
Well, the truth is, all these players might actually go because, well, maybe the only person I feel will stay is maybe Mahrez, because Mahrez has always been a backup. He has been a backup player for much of his Man City career. But you look at the others, João Cancelo. We all know what happened last season.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker didn't play for much of last season. He only started playing towards the tail end of the season. Emerick Laporte. This is a guy who he was once considered in the bracket of best defender in the
Best
world
defender in the world.
when City signed him and all. And I can't remember how many games he even played last season if I check, because at least I know I saw more of Manuel Akonji's face,
Akonji,
Mutanake's face, John
Ake,
Stones, and
John
Diaz.
Stones.
John-
Can you imagine?
Yes, so the thing is, for someone like Laporte, he needs game time, especially if he wants to get into the Spanish national team. Yes, he played yesterday when in the Nations League, when between Italy and Spain. But if he is not seeing enough game time in City, it could affect his playing chances in the Spanish national team. So most of these guys, Gundogan, well, we are hearing he wants to leave. His contract is up. We don't know if he will renew it. So the truth is, these guys, they can actually leave. But like we've said, we know Guardiola, City will still move on like nothing
I tell
happened.
you, nothing
Looking at
happened.
players, yeah, because
Nothing happened.
they will get more players, because Guardiola will get more players.
Yeah.
He will develop them, and they might actually be better than all these players that that we are mentioning here. They might be better. So that's what.
All right. All right.
Well, just to chip in there, I
All
feel
right.
I feel letting this number of players go definitely will affect the balance of the team. Regardless of however we praise Guardiola, that he's a wizard, he knows what he's doing. Having this amount of players leave your team, leave your club, will definitely, because it's all about demand and supply now. If you're saying these guys should leave, definitely you would have to bring in players in to replace them, because you can't say you're letting them go. Bar Cancelo on this list, because he didn't feel his absence when he loaned him out in January. So if these guys are going, Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Emerick Laporte, and Kyle Walker, that means we're going to see Man City bring in additional 5 players into the squad. I know a lot of players out there, the Man City project would attract them, but the question is, how do they get into that Man City team and get the ball rolling? It's not going to be that deep. It's not going to be that easy, because Pep plays a kind of style that, yes, we know his style is different from others. He tries to invent, tries to tinker, but it will be foolhardy, in my own opinion, to let this amount of players leave at the same time, when possibly maybe they might have possible replacements for them already, but it's going to be foolhardy for them to let them go. And also thinking the new players that we just bring in will fit into the system is going to be very, very difficult. I see this as a smoke screen. Maybe they don't want I don't know their contract situation. Maybe they don't want agents to start talking about giving them new clubs or trying to. I just feel this is not good. This is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. On face value, I don't see it happening.
But it is. I just want to point something out, though. Don't forget that Guardiola can actually invent players that are within the team. Like, don't forget that there's still a Calvin Phillips who has hardly played since he joined. Was it not last season? He can work on himself in
I'm not in the Man City's. I'm not in Man City's backroom, but Guardiola knows that Calvin Phillips can never wear the shoes of Gundogan or Rodri. He knows. He knows.
So we were saying too, when a certain Jack Grealish was signed, he cannot fit into the City team, and we all saw it. But look at where he is.
Well, I never had that premonition of Jack Grealish not filling into the Man City squad. But it's a gap right now. Looking at Calvin Phillips and Rodri, even when Fernandinho was preparing to leave, you could see that there was the next replacement there when Fernandinho drops his hat.
Yeah.
Rodri was being eased into that team. Rodri was, how would I put it? It was being eased into that team, walked into that team gradually. Did you see much of Calvin Phillips? I don't even think he played up to 15 games. I don't
We've played up to 15 games this last season that just went by. So it's going to be, for me, fingers crossed. I want to see it. I like to see it because Guardiola tends to, when these things happen, it tends to show that he knows what he's doing. But I just want to see what will happen if he lets this amount of players go.
All right, let me ask Margaret this question. Margaret, do you think if the Qatari could secure the club, owning the club, Manchester United, do you think Mbappe can be a Manchester United player?
Why is that? Well, with the way the report is going, is actually going in favor of the Qataris, and then that was like 2 days ago. We heard the report that he's leading in the race to buy Man United ahead of Sir Jim, and then the owner of PSG has actually promised him that he is going to sell Mbappe. That's according to reports to Man United if he actually wins the race to to buy Man United. But as it is right now, there is issue we know with Mbappe. Mbappe said he wants to go through his contract. That he just wrote a letter to them. He wants to go through his contract. He's not going. He will stay. So that means there's every possibility that if Mbappe said, "I am going to stay," and there is every possibility that he won't be in United this season because he said, "I'm going to stay." If he decides to be stubborn and tell them, "I want to see through my contract. I am not going to wait. I'm not going to stay for to extend my contract, but I am going to stay," which PSG are actually not happy about the situation. They don't actually want that to happen. They want to cash out. They want to make sure that it's either you sign a contract or you leave now and we get our money. But Mbappe then, he said he doesn't know that he never felt, he doesn't know that writing a letter will be a crime. So let's see. We don't know where he to actually lead. We don't know if PSG will tell him, "Guy, sign, please leave." Or Mbappe will be stubborn and said, "I am not leaving, but I'm not going to sign another contract." So we don't know what will happen with the Qataris. We don't know. So let's just keep our finger crossed. Probably before the end of this week or next week, there might be a twist. Then if by next week nothing is happening, then it means that the Glazers actually don't want to sell the club. They were just playing with the fans. They were just giving the fans false hope. So let's see what will happen by the end of next season. The fans all around the world are actually hoping for the Qatari to take over Man United.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to ask you, about Declan Rice coming to Arsenal. How true is that? Do you have any serious notification about Declan Rice coming to Arsenal?
What we've been hearing is he agreed before the season. There has been a form of agreement before the season came to an end, and after the conference league final, he was going to put pen to paper. I just say West Ham, they are trying to. This thing happens for every club. When they know their top star is leaving, they would want to use that player as a bidding war among clubs. Now, we heard yesterday or the day before yesterday that Man City has joined the race of signing Declan Rice. And you look at, is that true? How truthful is that? Because looking at Man City, they've not offloaded yet. And you want to sign in Declan Rice added to what you have. It's a different thing if they've offloaded someone like Gundogan, they've offloaded someone like Rodri or something, or offloaded a bit of players, then I would be scared. But I feel West Ham right now want to use the Declan Rice situation just to profit and make money. Yeah. It's a British player, so why would it not be worth over £100 million? That's in the point of West Ham. I'm sure they will want to milk the situation and make every penny out of it. So if Arsenal really are serious in signing him, they'll have to drop the money. But as for me, Declan Rice, what's in £100 million is a no-no for me, in my own opinion. If I were to be, there are a lot of players out there that will play better and fit into whatever Arteta wants to use Declan Rice for. But because of the tag British players,
Yeah,
that is
it's
what
too
really
expensive.
happens to.
Ah,
Yeah, they just make the market so exorbitant and make it so crazy. But let's just watch how things unfold for the next few days.
all right. All right, let's talk about Robbie, you are going to help us launch this particular topic, the FIFA Women's World Cup. What's going on, Robbie, on this side? Talk to me, Robbie.
Well, for the FIFA Women's World Cup, like Kunle rightly said, this is the biggest trophy when it comes to women's football on the planet. And right now, everybody is gearing towards how or what is going to happen. That is down under. That is more or less what they refer to Australia and New Zealand as. Nigeria have dropped their 23 women's list for the game. Other nations are still trying to cross their T's and dot their I's as regards the names they will be presenting for the tournament. And like I said, the deadline date for every team to put forward their final list is June the 9th because the tournament will start, July the 9th. So because the tournament is going to start July the 20th.
20th.
And that is when we're going to see the best of women's football. Over 1 million tickets has been sold, according to reports. Because over 1 million tickets has been sold and counting. So I think the only issues people are having is because of the different time zones that this game will be shown, but it is football. People will stay awake and watch it. Most especially, at least for Nigerian fans who are still crazy about football, they will still stay up and watch it and see what the Super Falcons are cooking. Yes, they are not optimistic about the chances of the Super Falcons, but nonetheless, they would watch it because there are other beautiful countries still coming. And from what I observed today, Europe has the largest amount of teams coming to the World Cup. Out of 32 countries coming, Europe has 12 slots or 12 countries coming out of 32. Then the next biggest amount is from CONCACAF. I think CONCACAF have about 8 or 10 teams also coming from that region as well. Then you have the AFC, then you have CAF, and the other regions as it is. For CAF, we just have 4 slots in this tournament. Yes, just 4 slots. Zambia, Morocco, Nigeria, and I'm trying to remember the last, and South Africa.
South Africa.
Yes, those are the 4. Yes, those are the 4 countries representing Africa. And I think one beautiful thing to note is the fact that FIFA is leaving no stone unturned to making sure that the women's game is recognized, one, and they are paid very, very well. One confirmed report I have for you is the fact that each player coming to this World Cup is going to be pocketing the sum of $30,000 as appearance fee. $30,000 as appearance fee. In Nigerian naira right now, that's about 13 million plus or thereabout. So it is something. So yes, just for showing up, you play, you don't play. As long as you make that list, FIFA has already released the money. So it is not like FIFA will. FIFA has already released the money to be paid to each of the players who makes the list of their respective countries. $30,000.
All right, Robbie, I want to quickly ask you because Margaret, I'm going to find out if Margaret is actually going to watch this game. She's a female and she has to tell us his passion for this game. But Margaret, hold on, Robbie. Margaret, this is Women's World Cup. It's different from the Men's World Cup, no doubt about it. But if you look at it, how do you feel for this tournament coming up, Margaret?
Well, I actually feel great, and it's always there's always that excitement whenever the World Cup comes up because you get to see fantastic football from women. Gone are the days when women football were just there and people were not interested to watch. But right now, with what is going on, especially this year, we've seen that women's football have they've gained that recognition from 2014. Is it 2014 to 32? It shows you how the viewers have increased. And I don't know actually in one of the countries because of I don't know. Robbie, please get me I don't know, correct me if I'm actually wrong. I think one of the country coming in for the first time, they will be declaring a public holiday there just because of
Can you
them
imagine?
qualifying
Yeah,
for
that should be
for
Jamaica.
the World Cup.
That
Jamaica.
should be
Yeah,
Jamaica.
yeah. That's to tell you how great. And then the Philippines, you look at the Philippines. In the history of Philippines, this is the first time either in men's or women's football that they will be playing in a World Cup tournament in a large stage. Like that's to tell you that this year on is historic. There are so many history. There are so many great things to come. And then I know all eyes will actually be on different teams like England, number one, they won the Euro, or they're actually the favorite, one of the favorite right now to win. And then the one of the co-hosts, Australia, they have great players there, fantastic players. We're not talking about the United States of America. I think they won the most. And then Germany, so many great players there, individual, both individual as a nation, as an individual. You see that they have so many players. But my only worries is actually our own Super Falcon,
Yes.
because we don't know what will actually happen. They've not really been having good outing when it comes to World Cup. They've not been able to do the same way they've dominate Africa. They've not
Africa.
been able to dominate the World Cup the same way. I think the last time they did very well in the World Cup, we're talking about that 1999, then when they got to quarterfinal. That was just the other 99 2000. That was when they got to quarterfinals. And since then, they've been having so many bad outings. And we're hoping that this year they will do very well. When we look at the group that they belong to, they are in the same group with the co-host, New Zealand. And New Zealand are not just a team you can overlook. They are a great team. They have this Arsenal, one of Arsenal best players in that team. Their captain, we know they are doing fantastic.
We also
Ireland,
have
though, please.
Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr is Australian.
Yes,
Nigeria is in
Sam Kerr.
Australia.
Yeah, Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr, yeah, Australia captain. She's doing greatly. And then they have Canada, another country that they have good players, both individual and then collectively they've been doing great. So our attention right now, we know, will be on the Super Falcon, and hopefully, Randy Wardrum will be able to put together a team that will at least go past the group stage to the quarterfinal, and then let's see maybe if we will have a semi-final this time.
All right, Robbie, back to you again. Are you confident with this team list? Is there any rancor in in Nigerian camp? I'm talking about the names. Are these no be mago names? I mean, you know what I mean, Robbie.
Which one in Mago?
You know how we do things now. We just slot in one name. We put
No. Really. I think for those, I think Kule will back me up on this. For those following the game in Nigeria, these are more or less the usual faces that we have been seeing for a while. And for one player who is set to set a new record is Onome Ebi. That is, she's gonna set the record for a player from Nigeria, male or female, that has made the most World Cup appearances.
Yeah.
So these names are more or less the old guards plus the young bloods that has been infused into the team. The likes of Dimei, Tony Payne, they are just new names on the block as it is. Gloria Lozier, these ladies are just newcomers to the team. So it's not like as if they've been around for a long while. For some of them, for the like of Imuran and Dimei, this is their first World Cup appearance. So like I said, there's no mago there in this particular list. These are the usual suspects that we see at the national team setup. So hopefully the team will do well. Even if they don't win the group, even if they can just qualify to the second round and pick it up from there, let us just see what they can do. So everybody's just sitting back and hoping that the Super Falcons will do very well, because right now the country is very hot, most especially as regards the coaches are handling both the male national team and the female national team. Let me digress a bit. Jose Pizarro's contract is set to expire at the end of this month. And from what we are getting at the NFF, they are not going to renew his contract. So that leaves the argument again, who will now be the new coach of the national team. So that is more or less one issue on ground. Then for Waldrop as well, I believe that once his contract expires as well, his contract will not be renewed. So it is now left for the NFF and football administrators in the country to look inward and get the best heads and hands to take over the national teams.
All right, Kunle. Before we wrap up this show, I want to ask you, how far do you think Nigeria could go in this tournament? Talk to me, Kunle.
Well, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one because looking at their, I really do hope that they come out because Australia as the host will definitely want to impress. And then you have Canada. Canada is a very good country. So I mean, those two alone. But if if the Falcons are going to do it, the Falcons will have to probably play the best football they have played in their lives, you know, to be able to do this. Yeah, you know,
I'm scared though.
That kind of there's no room for errors. Otherwise, you will get punished, and before you know it, they are coming back home early. But we don't want that because in the last World Cup they qualified into the round of 16. So we hope that they can do that or even go further because the highest they've reached is the quarterfinal. They've never been to the semi-finals before. It's going to be tough, but they are going to have to play extremely well if they want to go far this time around.
All right, this is how far we can go. People, smash the like on the video, subscribe to our channel. This is a great community where we talk about sport. And I want to thank you so much. Robbie, thanks for showing up.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for today.
All right, have a nice weekend. Margaret, thank you so much for joining us on this show. One love.
Yeah, one love, man. Thank you.
All right, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right, thanks for showing up on this one.
Thanks for having me once again, boss.
All right, people, smash the like on the video, subscribe to our channel. This is how far we can go tonight, and also on ISTV, the ISTV chess tutorial is going to start. That's ISTV Chess Academy on the blog. So join us and please subscribe to our channel. And this is how far we can go, people. All right, on to the next one. The Don is signing out. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.